What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino back with y'all again on this Saturday night. Um, Not much going on tonight, at least not in my city. But I can't say that. There's a lot going on in my city. I'm just one of those boring guys that I don't really do too much unless I'm working. Unless there's work to be done. Uh, but I wanted to hit y'all again, I guess, to make up for last week when I wasn't able to get at y'all. And as y'all may be able to see, or we'll wait to announce that as we start to get a few more people in the room. Saw a few of the comments after yesterday's live, and a few people saying, they want to they really want to catch one of these, catch a live. I know I come on at the same time, roughly every time, but I'll start maybe switching it up to try to come on a little earlier in the day, my time, so that it might line up with maybe people overseas, because I know if I come on here now, in most places like in Europe and other parts of the world, they may be 7-8 hours ahead of us time-wise, then, it may put it at 3, 4, and 5 in the morning when people are asleep, or people are just getting up to go to work, or people are at work, however, but I'll work on trying to mix up the days where I go live. So a lot of y'all that might want to, catch one of these live, catch your big brother live, you'll be able to do so. But as is the case every time, man, y'all be sure to hit the like button as you come in, click that thumbs up as you come into the chat, and we'll get started on this topic. I didn't really know the best way to word this until Lane said I just got off work. so I did a good job, I think. I guess, I don't know, but I couldn't really figure out what the best way to word this title to make it be fully understood on impact. But I thought that I could explain it, even if the title may have thrown a few people off, and basically just asking the question, like, what do you do and how do you handle it when you have talented people around you and you can see their potential? You can see the greatness that they have in them. You can see that their talent level is right up there with anybody else in the world who does the same thing that they do. But even if they see it in themselves and they know it, they don't push hard to accomplish it. They just like, I could take it or leave it. I ain't really tripping. Ain't no big deal to me whether I get it or not. And you look at them like, no, man, you got a chance. You can really do this. You just as talented as anybody, man. You can really be big at this. And no matter what you say, no matter what you try to instill, no matter what lessons you try to teach, preach, it just doesn't stick. They continue to just coast along or carry a lackadaisical attitude about it. They just don't seem to want it. And one of the toughest things is to see somebody who has the skill, who has the ability to really change their own life. And it's nothing that you can do to make them go for it, to make them want to make that change. There's nothing that you can do. That's a frustrating situation. And it becomes frustrating because what happens is The people who are older, the people who have been through the fight, have been through the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations and the struggles and working on jobs that you hate, dealing with attitudes and people you don't like and all this different. When you've been through that, people who have had big opportunities that they wanted to capitalize on, but they were just not able to get it done, or they had it in the palm of their hands and they lost it. Those are the people who look at the person who's in position and won't fight for it, and you just feel like your hands are tied. You feel defenseless, like I don't know what to tell them, man. I'm saying tried everything, but it's just not registering with that person. Sometimes we have to chalk it up to just saying, well, I'll get to that part in a little bit. But when you've already walked down a road or walked down a particular street, walked through a neighborhood, you can describe what the neighborhood looks like. You can describe what the houses look like better than somebody who's never walked down that street. I can tell you, hey, there's a blue and white house on the corner. I can tell you when you get to the stop sign, it's going to be a house. It's got an old broke down Cadillac that's sitting on bricks. I can tell you where they got some speed bumps in the middle of the road. You can describe it because you've been down that road. But when people who have not walked down the road, when they come off as if they already know what's on the road, they already are familiar with the street when they're not, and they won't listen to the people who have walked down the street, it's tough because you know that in the future, they're going to actually walk down that street and then they'll see the things that you said was on it. But it'll be way, 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 way too late for them to get what they now regret not getting. And sometimes, because we was having this conversation today, that's what sparked this video for me. That's a conversation, that me and the homies was having. And we related to like children a lot of times. A lot of us, you'll see your children at an early age start to take an interest in a particular thing. Oh man, or you may put them in something. Oh man, I'm gonna give my son or daughter, I'm gonna put her in piano lessons. And then you sit her down in front of the piano, and all of a sudden she just seems to be a natural. It's like, man, we ain't even started the lessons yet, and she already she just has a natural ability. Or you put a basketball in your son's hand. You ain't really taught him much, but he just naturally seemed to have it. So you look at them and you say, well, man, if I work with them, or if I get somebody to work with them, that natural gift that we seem to have just discovered that they naturally have in them, we can push that up through the roof now, because you combine the natural talent with the work and the practice. Oh man. But the problem is there are three elements. You have the natural talent, that's number one. You have now the work that's put in, the practice to put in to hone the talent and sharpen the skill, that's number two. But the ingredient that's really the gas of the vehicle, the fuel of the vehicle, is the inner drive and determination that the person needs to have in order to make the talent and the work pay off big. If the drive and the determination is not there, then guess what? Nothing comes out of the talent. The talent is wasted. The talent is useless. And eventually the talent is lost. Because you have to want it. You got to want it. And nobody can make you want it. I can't grab my son by the neck and choke him and say, man, you're gonna want it. Can't force it. Because even if a person goes on your urging and you pushing them hard, and they decide, okay, I'm gonna do it because daddy pushing me or mama pushing me, it's really not in their heart, so you're still not gonna get the best out of them. When the passion matches the talent, that's when you got a beast on your hands, a good beast. That's when you have that beautiful, and I'm determined to do what I do and be the best at it. Now you got a good problem. You got a monster on your hands. But far too many times, the two don't match. The two don't match. And when the two don't match, there's nothing you can do. Because there's a scripture that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Meaning that whatever it is you believe yourself to be, that's what you are. And what you don't believe yourself to be, that's what you're not. So if you come to me and try to force me, or better yet, you can force me to put on a ninja suit. Hey man, put this ninja suit on. And I go, I don't want to wear a ninja suit. Oh, you gonna put this ninja suit on. You're gonna be a ninja. I don't want to be a ninja. And you force me to put it on. And now I got the suit on. I got the little mask thing and everything, the head thing, the sword and everything. But now I'm just standing there like, okay, now what? Swing the sword. I'm like, it's not the same. You could put a basketball, a football, a baseball bat in your son's hand. You could stand your son or daughter up in front of a microphone and say, hey, sing, rap. But if it's not in them to do it, they're going to half do it. And they'll be doing it just because they feel like that's just to please you. And I know it's frustrating. It's tough. Because again, we as older people, we have the ability to see the potential future. I have friends, man, who have had children grow up to make it to the NBA, to be successful rappers, and even people that I know that I'm not just close to. I'll tell y'all the story. I told this story to the homies earlier, but I'm going to tell it to y'all. Dearan Fox, the basketball player that's currently playing for the Sacramento Kings right now, Got a big game 7 coming up tomorrow against the Golden State Warriors. Dearan Fox. I used to play basketball with his dad, right? You know, I'm from H-Town, and that's where they're from. And the legendary park in the city of Houston, better known as McGregor Park. I used to play ball with Dearan Fox's dad at McGregor Park. He'd come every day, the regular at the park. We used to go at it. I never knew that he had a son who at that time had to be a younger son, because this was like early 2000s. So years later, when Dearan was in high school, I would hear that name. Dearan Fox, Dearan Fox. I never put the two together. I just kept hearing people talk, man, we're going to see Fox tonight, man. We're going to see Fox. This is high school games. So fast forward close to the NBA draft, because I think Dearan Fox went to Kentucky. I think. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think Dearan Fox played basketball, college ball at Kentucky, right? Right. So right before the draft, somebody tells me, they say, hey, man, you know Dearan Fox. You know that's Fox's son. Fox that hooped with us in McGregor Park. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. Because I knew now, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Fox, older Fox, he's in a great position now as far as his family, because Fox was a working man. Fox was getting up, going to a job and working every day. And I know he didn't like that. There are many people who love their jobs, but I feel like there are a lot more people who really don't like their job. And it's not always, there are people who hate their job, but there are other people who, I might not hate my job, but I don't love my job, right? We tolerate the job because it's a necessity. Paying bills is a necessity. Putting food on your family's table is a necessity, right? So you tolerate, you deal with it, even if you it's not a big fan of the job you do. So he was a working man. But the night of the draft, I try to catch the draft every year. I happen to be watching the draft that year. And Dearan Fox went early. He went early. He went top 10. May have been top 5, but I know he went top 10. Y'all can double check that. But you know how you see the family sitting at the table during the draft? You see the player that's getting ready to get drafted, the mother, father, grandmothers, little sisters, everybody who's at the table. Everybody's dressed up in suits and nice clothes. And they announced Dearan Fox's name with the whatever pick in the NBA draft. The Sacramento Kings select Dearan Fox. And I looked, the camera panned over to the table, and I looked at the table, and I saw Dearan's dad, Big Fox, sitting at that table in a suit with a smile on his face the size of the planet Neptune. Because in that moment, he knew what I'm assuming, I'm pretty sure I'm right. But I think in that moment, he knew that his days of working for somebody and busting his back, getting up early, going to a job that he probably didn't really like, he knew that those days was over. Because his seed had accomplished a goal and reached a level that was now going to set his family up for life in a great way. His seed, who is a recipient of his father's genetics because his dad played ball, is now in a position that he's going to take care of his dad, and I'm sure his mom, of course, for life. So $100 million later, they live in that happy ending life. So that scenario played out perfectly. But there are other situations where, there are parents who are going through the same thing with their children. They're like, hey, man, I'm working with my son. I'm training him. Working with my daughter. I'm training her. Classically trained piano, singer, dancer, whatever it is, just gymnastic, whatever it is. And the world sees the talent, but they don't want to do it. The difference with Fox was that he loved the game. Dearan wanted to do it. So the passion, as Brother Zawaji said, the passion and the talent, they got married. When determination and talent gets married, wow, it's going to be a beautiful relationship. But too many other times, it didn't work out like that. So now you scratching your head. You're like, oh, man, come on, man. You can do this. This is going to change everything. And the person with the talent, they could care less. Like, I don't want to do it. But son, but daughter, nope, don't want to do it. And you're like, oh, man, come on. Don't want to do it. And again, you could force them to do it. You could try to force them. You could try to make them do it. But it's not going to be right. It's not going to be the same. So what do? What would you do if you was in that situation? It don't have to be a child, man. It could be your brother. It could be a peer. It could be a friend that's the same age as you. And you see something in them that could take them to another level, and you try to push and motivate them, and they just don't want it. Now, here's the thing. It's all right for you to not want to do something that you might be gifted at, because you may have multiple talents. You might be gifted in something else. Because the natural question is going to come if I see how great you are in this one thing, but you're not showing the love for it, and I go, man, why? I just don't want to do it. The natural question that follows that is going to be, okay, well, what is it that you want to do? What do you want to do? Right? That's just a natural question. And if they follow up and answer that question by saying, well, yeah, I really want to be architect, then you would go, oh, okay. At least I would go, okay, cool. I didn't know. Hey, man, look, man, no, you don't have to play basketball, man. You want to be an architect, okay, pour all of your attention and all your focus into that, since that's where you're saying your passion lies. And then if you start to see that playing itself out and playing itself into existence, then okay, cool. He just didn't want to do that, but he's great at this. Problem solved. But if they say, I don't want to do that, the thing that we all saw the talent to do, and then you say, well, what do you want to do? Then they go, I don't know. Now it's a problem. Because you don't even have a backup. See, I never liked when the world tried to give me a backup plan, right? Because the flip side of what I'm talking about, when you talk about people who have the gift and they don't really want it, but the people around them are trying to want it for them or push them to want it, the opposite of that is being in a situation where you have the gift, you do want it, but the people around you are not motivating you, they're not believing in you, they're not encouraging you, and that happens a lot too. So they're not giving you any kind of support. So when you're giving that support and the person say they don't want it, and you go, well, what do you want to do? And they go, I don't know. That becomes more frustrating because now you start to get mad. You're like, okay, well, you have to do something. If you want to waste a talent, if you want to waste a means by which you can make it to the next level or the highest level that you or anyone in our family history has made it to, you can save the family, build a legacy, and you don't want to do that, that's when that anger kicks in. Like, well, look, man, well, you're going to have to figure that out. Because again, a lot of times young people don't have a grasp and a clear understanding of how hard it really is to make it out in the world. And when I say make it out in the world, I ain't talking about big time winning Grammys and all that crap. I don't mean superstar status. I mean just in general. Getting up, go to work, pay your bills every month. They don't always have a full grasp on the repetitive process that seems to never end until you retire or die. And they don't get that understanding until time passes where the window through which they can climb in this moment is closed down the line in a future moment. And now your life is so hard. Your life is so difficult. Your life is so boring. Your life is so meaningless. Your life don't have no purpose because you're getting up, working for somebody else, doing a tougher job when you could have seized the opportunity in the moment when your window was wide open. Now you get it. Now you say, man, I blew it. I messed up. I should have listened. I should have listened, man. Now you're too old. That's too late. Because the one thing about this thing we call life, even when you do capitalize on the opportunity and you do take full advantage of your greatness, at some point in life and in time, even the greatest of the great, they pass on through and their time passes and somebody else comes up new that's great. And the great one just fades on out. Muhammad Ali could not be the greatest forever. At the top of the game, he couldn't be at the peak of his great. He couldn't be that forever. Michael Jordan, he couldn't be that forever. Tiger Woods couldn't be there forever. Time has a way of consuming. It's going to consume everybody. But life don't stop because the great one is no longer great. The creator is in the business. All he does is create greatness. So just when you think that we've seen the best ever in this field, now somebody else comes along and is doing things that the greatest never did. Somebody's playing the violin in a way that it's never been played. That's the greatness of God. So it's ignorant and in some cases arrogant for us to think that, hey man, I'm always be in this position and have this greatness. Nobody's gonna ever supplant me. You can maintain your greatness the way you do it, especially in music, because that's naturally going to last longer than an athletic career. In other fields, you can maintain your greatness for decades and decades, right? That doesn't mean somebody else won't come in the wings, but it doesn't have to stop you from still staying hungry and honing your skills. Don't have to stop you from doing that. But if you stop yourself, if you cut off your own greatness just by losing interest, just by getting lazy, just by never having the passion to do it in the first place, you stop your own greatness, then eventually you'll lose it. You don't use it, you what? You lose it. So the person or people who are trying to urge and push the talented person to max their talent out, they understand this. They're like, come on, man, you ain't got as much time as you think you got. Quit playing around, man. Quit thinking that you are missing out on something. Well, man, everybody going to the party. Man, I want to go on a date. I like this girl, man. I just want to chill and hang out. Bruh, do you know how many opportunities that you will have to basically do all the things you think you want to do? Because it ain't all that what you be thinking it is. What a lot of times the stuff that we think we missing out on when we putting in work, the stuff that we think we missing out on, it's not worth it. How many parties can you go to? How many, I want to ask this question. Somebody might give me an answer. How many blunts can you smoke? How many dates can you go on? And all of the things that you will be able to write your own ticket about once you succeed, you're trying to do all that now. And I ain't condoning no foolishness, but I'm just saying there are some people who have been wise enough to sacrifice those years, that time early on in their life, because they know that once I get to the point I'm trying to get to, I will have enough money, I will have enough resources, I will have enough power to do anything I want to do. But if you want to play before the prize, then the prize might not come. Because people have played around after they got the prize and ended up losing the prize. So you get distracted in the middle of your run. You on your journey. You can't be running a race, and as you running that race, you look out into the audience and like, oh, that's a nice shirt he got on, man. Hey man, where'd you get that shirt from? Hey man, you in a race. There's people passing you up. I gotta get me a shirt like that. No. Win this race. Then you can get the shirt. You can get the shirt, the pants, and the shoes. You can get the draws. You're not recognizing and appreciating the moment. Not recognizing it. And you're not appreciating the moment until the moment is gone. Because 10 years pass and you wonder what it could be. You crunching the numbers every month to try to budget and get the bills and stuff together. Like, man, whew. How many of y'all have ever had to put something on a bill to partially pay a bill? You couldn't pay it all. You had to put some on it. The bill was $132, but you made a deal with the people where you can only put, hey, I'm gonna put 70 on it, man. I'll catch y'all when I can catch y'all. You didn't want to do that. You would have liked to have paid it all off, but you had no other choice. Had to do it. Didn't have a choice. Being comfortable, having that peace of mind of knowing that, okay, well, the first can roll around all they want to. Don't bother me none. How many people actually experience that feeling on a month-to-month basis? I'm sure you've had moments where things was good. You was, hey man, things pretty good. I've been popping for a few months. So you had moments where you just, how much are you putting on this one, sir? Oh, I'm paying it all. Pay the whole amount. Pay your rent up for a few months. We've all had moments like that, right? But more times than not, every month is a challenge. Every month is, let me see how I'm pulling to do this. Let me just see how I do that. And you hope and pray that don't nothing unexpected come up. So to get in a position or to have someone around you that you see is in a position to make that problem no longer be a problem, and they don't go for it, and you have no power over it because it's not you, it's them, that's a tough thing, man. That's a tough situation. But you can't force somebody to want it. You just can't. So you're putting it like, man, I don't understand. I don't understand this boy, man. This boy could be great. I don't understand him, man. He just don't want it. Well, you do understand it. You just answered it. He don't want it. You don't want it. So if you don't want it, you can't want it for him. But future regret is a real thing, man. It's a real thing. How many of y'all, by a show of hands or yeses or no's, how many of y'all can think back to at least one moment in your life where you personally blew a great opportunity for yourself? Not something that somebody else did, because a lot of times we like to blame other people. So, well, no, if that time the lady didn't tell me that the people called looking for me because she was jealous. I'm talking about that you blew it. It was on you. You had to take the onus. You had to take the responsibility to say, it was me. Magnetica said many. Hey, I understand. I'm just saying just one. And when that happens to you, if you really know how big that moment was, because most of the time you know, it sticks with you. It don't leave you. It don't leave you. The only way that it will leave you, or I would say the only way that it won't eat you alive anymore, is if you do bust through a different way and you succeed and you hit it at another time to where you say, okay, well, yeah, I blew those 2 times, but it's like somebody playing sports. Guy goes to the championship, been trying to get to the championship all his career, and he finally get to the championship and he lose. So for years, he just, man, I lost the championship. I had my chance. I might not get another chance. It's hard to get back to the championship. Then he gets back and he wins. Doesn't mean that you still don't feel the first time you lost, but you feel a whole lot better because you eventually got the thing that you didn't get the first time. But if you never get it, you'll be 105. I just, my only regret was that one time when I was 23. You're going to regret it. So we try to protect others from their own future regrets based on the experience of our past regrets. See? No matter how much you push a person, they don't want it. They're not going to do it. I miss the good old days. I miss them Joe Jackson days. I miss them Earl Williams days. Venus and Serena's dad. Tiger Woods, them Earl Woods days. Where coming out the womb, oh, you're going to play tennis. Oh, you're going to get these instruments and learn how to dance and do these steps and sing these songs. Because a lot of times the vision has to be formulated for people. This dude don't know what he want to do. Let me tell him what he going to do. And the fact that you can think of all your regrets, and the fact that the things that you regret not accomplishing were things you really wanted to get, and you was trying like heck to get it. You was breaking your back trying to get it, man. You were like, oh. And when it finally reached the point where your window closed, where it was just like you realize I can't do it, and you stopped, You didn't stop because you just was a quitter. You stopped because it was like, well, man, I've exhausted all of my energy and my opportunities. I can't do it. But some people who have the talent, because this is another side that we got to be very careful with. When we are the ones who see the talent in them and we want to push them to do it, we can make the mistake of putting too much pressure on them. And when you put too much pressure on somebody and it's not something that's in their heart, even if it is in their heart, sometimes they can really want to do it, but you putting so much pressure on them, you just beating them down so hard to do it that it makes them resentful, not of the goal, but resentful of you for the way you are trying to push them. Because you gotta, it's a balance and a thin line in terms of knowing when to push hard, when to pull back, knowing how to properly motivate. It's like a coach. You got coaches that cuss and scream and holler at the players, jack them up, and they might feel like that's motivating the players. No, you just scaring the hell out of them. And that could work in a good way, but most likely it works in a bad way because, sometimes it may work in a good way because I'm so scared to mess up that I'm going to get out here. We're going to win. But it can be bad because you push people so hard that it puts pressure on them and they so nervous and shook and worried about failing and not failing themselves. They worry about failing you. They worry about this. They worried about disappointing you, that they can't even focus right no more. They can't even do the job right. And you like, come on, man, what's wrong with you today, man? You did it great in practice. Hey, man, I'm shook. I'm scared. I'm scared to deal with you. I got to ride home with you. And you choke. Some people. So people can make you resent your own gift because they on your head too hard. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. I'm going to go into the box, to the comment box, see what y'all talking about. The ineffable peculiarity. I don't need to seek validation from another individual who doesn't care about my passion and what I love. I just do what I desire to excel at it on my own. Well, yeah, that's the normal. That would be great. I guess that's what I want to say. But I'm more so speaking about if someone saw a skill or a gift in you that could just take you to the moon, but you didn't show the desire to excel, like you said, the desire to excel at it on your own. You wasn't showing that. The frustration that would come, but also reaching the realization and understanding of that, I can't make him. I can't make her do it. I can't make him do it. You can't make people who they are not able to become. Yeah, you can't make people who they are not able to become. Is that my spirit good? Yeah. Sometimes we can be delusional in our push. And because we loved to do this particular thing. We were young, or we had the skill to do it. Well, I didn't succeed at it, but I'm gonna turn my son into a great boxer. I didn't make it in the music business, but I'm gonna make sure my son, my daughter, gets a record deal. And no, you're gonna make sure that if that's not what she wants, or that's not what he wants to do. Hi, Coop says, only way people succeed is with good mentors and not one person. Everybody needs a lot of good examples of how to do things right these days. Okay, but again, to speak to the topic, what if you have all that? What if you provided them with all that you said? You provided them with all that. They got the mentorship, they got the support system, the team of people around them, they got all that. But they don't show the motivation to want to do it. You know how many people have placed resources around an individual because they saw the talent in them? It's like, okay, well, all he needs is this or this or this or that. I can call this person, and they put the team. Now what? Terrell Lane says, I have always been the scapegoat. What do you mean? Elaborate on that. Zawaji Muhammad says, is future regret similar to a youth or midlife crisis? I feel like there may be elements of regret that would pass regret inside of a midlife crisis. I think that's part of it. But to my understanding, the midlife crisis always was when a guy or a female gets to a certain age and they start to maybe feel like, I just ain't got it no more. I ain't got that same kick that I used to have. So now I'm going out and trying to do things to relive aspects of my youth. That's why you see the old guy, the old bald-headed guy, he goes out and gets a Ferrari. And he's hanging out at the 25-year-old clubs. And like, dude, you have a midlife crisis. Because there may be elements that he didn't get a chance to appreciate or experience around that time. But when you talk about past regret, I mean, that's when something was left on the table, or you blew something, you blew an opportunity. But that's a good question. Hakoop said, that's where I'm at. I mean, man, it's tough, man. It's tough. Mike Cullen says, just a little ambition could make you a milli overnight, but that's a predicted problem. Can I trust myself with $1 million? Only you can answer that last part of the question. I'm sure you would like to find out. See? But a little ambition could make you a millionaire. See, that's a good point. How many years do we waste on things that have no benefit to us? No matter what it is. We'll get on somebody else's job and work 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, 8 years. I don't care if it's 5 years. You worked on this particular job for 5 years. Like I said earlier, you either didn't like it, you hated it, or you just tolerated it. So, but you were willing to get up every day to give yourself to that, which barely benefit. It just sustains you on a base level. It sustains you on, in a lot of cases, on the borderline of minimum, just enough to get by every month. So we've given those years and that time and time out of our life to that, but we're not willing to say, well, you know what? If I just push and just sacrifice and go hard for 5 years on my own goal, let's see where that takes me. Let's see where that places me after those 5. And you may not like what your gift requires you to do, just like you may not like the job you work, but at least you swinging for the fences, because you'll never hit the home run working on that plantation, but you might hit the home run with your gift and accumulate enough money, enough connections, enough resources, enough assets. You may accumulate enough of that based on what your gift provided for you in order to transition out. Hey man, I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna do this for 5 years. And then if you have another thing that you really want to do, you can transition into that. Or if you just don't want to do nothing, at least you did something to get to a point where you're able to do nothing. At the very least. Calculus says you haven't even scratched the full potential of your talent as you talking to me as a writer. May God continue to anoint your voice and pen. Yeah, man, I pray that prayer. Thank you. I received that. I accept that. I appreciate the calculus. I won't go into my prime till I'm 129. Let me catch up. Can't make people want it, man. Can't make people want it. BGN says, true that. I always be telling my mistakes to little homies, hoping they won't have to go through them too. But it seems like some people got to learn by doing it themselves. And that's what we try to avoid. That's the reason why we tell people what we've been through, what we saw, what we did. Because you see something in them that's going down that same road. Man, let me tell this little homie something, man. Hey, little homie, let me holler at you, man. I see you traveling in a direction that, trust me, you are not going to like the destination. But the same way you can't make a person want it, you can't make a person listen. And too many times you instill it in them and they don't listen, then they end up in a bad situation. Then they, oh, wow. After the fact. I got a song called After the Fact. Y'all go listen to that when y'all get off this live. You always see it clear after the fact, but some people don't. Some people make those mistakes, man, and they never get it. Some people get so stubborn and hard-hearted and hard-headed that they don't even care. They know that they messed up. They know that they are living well below their own potential. They still don't care. Because we get comfortable with mediocrity. You get comfortable being mediocre. You You get comfortable being regular. I'm still reading y'all stuff, man. Let me see. Duke Togo. Yeah, I will be in McAllen, Texas, May 5th, man. Let me put that in there real quick. I'm gonna get back to the topic though. I just know the address. I'll be in McAllen, Texas, May the 5th. That's next Friday. Y'all come check me out if you're in that area. I'm reading y'all's comments. What would y'all do if y'all knew somebody? What if it was your child that had a super skill or super talent and they just didn't show the will to want to manifest it? What would y'all do? Or if you've been through it, what did you do? Yeah. Not, Adamanarchy says, not having to ask for anyone's help normally, other than charity, food in my case usually, is nice. But then everyone bugs me for everything. Y'all hit the like button if you haven't already. Marlon MC. I just put my email address right under there. So Marlon, send me an email, but only if you're serious. Big Ock has entered the chat. Erica Vianney says, if they didn't want to use their gift for monetary gain, make sure they learn a skill they love. Yeah. Let me ask you this. I'm asking this to everybody. Even if, let me ask you this personally. All of y'all, I'm asking y'all this personally. So everybody that's watching me right now, even if you don't type out an answer, just think it to yourself. But I would like to see an answer. If you had a super talent, a super gift from God, and people recognized this gift in you, and they saw how this gift could elevate you and your family and your legacy, the position and the condition of you and your family could just improve for generations. But that gift that you had, it wasn't your passion. Would you still push and pursue that goal by using your gift for the sake of your family and your future generations, to put them in a position to not have to suffer and worry monetarily, whatever it is, resources, assets, all that? Would you do that and sacrifice that time even if you didn't like or didn't have the passion for the gift you had? Would you do that? Yes or no? Or would you be like, hey man, if I ain't feeling it, I ain't feeling it. The family just gonna have to figure it out. What would you do? Oh, wait. Nothing you can't do if they're truly not with it. then it's just a waste of time pressuring them. It's a waste of time pressuring them. Yep. But you don't know all the time that you're wasting your time. See, a lot of times we don't know that we wasting our time until time passes and we realize, man, I wasted my time. See, if we knew in the moment that we was wasting our time, we wouldn't waste our time. But people will say, yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. And you put all your time and effort to help them. You put resources, money, you put all that into that. You pour it into that. Motivation, encouragement. You pour it into that. It can be exhausting to you. Only to have the person fall off or the person just say, man, I ain't. Then you realize not only did they waste their time, they wasted mine. I wasted mine. Mike Cullen says, call them idiots and move on. Don't spend too much anger and impatience on them. They're on there. But it might be your son, Mike. You don't call your son an idiot? Let me see what y'all said y'all would do. Let me see what you would do. Erica says, oh yes, you push if you're going to help something as important. I just believe that my life is just not all about me. My life is just not all about what I want. I feel like one of the hidden keys of life is the understanding that we're not just living for ourselves. We strive to make ourselves better, but we should also every day be pushing and try to make the people around us better in every way. Better here, better spiritually, and better conditions from a material standpoint, all that. So if I would have had, if I didn't like to do music, if I didn't like it, but I just had the gift, and I had people waiting to take me to the next level the right way, and it was going to be lucrative and life-changing for my family, I believe I would do it. I'd make a deal with my family. Look, man, I'm going to do this for like 5 years, man. We're going to build up some loot, and we're going to transition into some other stuff because I don't like doing this. I put taking care of my family over another dead-end job. Yeah, because that's where you're going to end up. You're going to end up on a dead-end job, man. Jimmy says, I do it until I found a way to make money doing what I like. Yeah. Because you're thinking about your future generations. Do you know how great? See, money ain't everything. I don't want y'all to think this is a thing about trying to worship money or just put this high, put money up on this high pedestal. No, we understand what money can do for a person with some sense, but we also understand what money can do to an idiot, a fool in this money. So we get all of that. But if you have children, one of the key conversations that accompany the process of bringing children into the world especially if they show up by accident. Not accident to God, but an accident in our minds. They show up unexpected. The conversation starts to center around finance. Well, hey man, so how are we gonna take care of this baby? If your 16-year-old son comes home, God forbid, and tells you, mom, dad, I got my girlfriend pregnant, you're gonna be upset for multiple reasons. Number one, y'all too young, y'all shouldn't have been doing all that. Number three, hey man, there's a lot of responsibility that you just a child yourself, you're not ready for it. Number four, hey man, I'm still taking care of you. Now you getting ready to bring another child in. Number five, okay, well, how you gonna take care of this child? Where's the money gonna come that's going to support this child? So that's a real issue, a real conversation. But imagine bringing a child into the world. You ain't 16, 17 no more. Imagine you 28, you 30, you married couple, but your finances are on point to where bringing a child into the world, the money issue is not even on the list. You know that your child is going to be born into an environment and into a financially stable environment. That's a stress that you don't have to worry about. That's a pressure that you don't have to worry about. But something set that up. Something put that child in position. Something that was done by you long before that child was conceived, or something that was done a generation beyond you by somebody who put you in a good position. See, you look at the let me think of a rich family. Give me some rich families in American history. You got the Hiltons, the Rockefellers. Who else? What's that other rich family, man? Give me some rich families, man. Name some rich. The Vanderbilts. Appreciate that, finders keepers. The Gateses, the Carnegies. Ooh, y'all dropping the Rothschild. That's what I was trying to. That's the name that was dangling in my head. I couldn't think of the Rothschilds, right? Okay. So you got the Rothschilds family. I'm sure somewhere in the Rothschilds family, within the last 5 years, let's just go back 5 years. I'm sure that a baby was born into the Rothschilds family within the last 5 years. Somebody's daughter in the Rothschilds family, somebody's son brought a child into the world, right? That child came into this world with no financial pressures, no worries on that level, strictly based on something that had been done generations and generations back. That money was not an issue. Michael Jordan's children born into the world, when they got here, whenever they was born, money was never going to be an issue. They have never in life lived a second of their lifetime where there was a issue on whether or not, on how they was going to eat, on how school clothes was going to be purchased for the upcoming school year, how birthday presents were going to be purchased. And I don't know when I'm going to get this boy for their birthday. Oh man, just tight this year. That's a problem they've never had to face. But also institutions were in place. And when we talk about the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the DuPonts and all these rich families, the Gates families and all that, we can get into the wicked things that they did to accumulate the money, the Kennedys or whoever you want to go into, bootlegging and Trump's daddy. We know that the majority of these multi-billionaire individuals and families, they acquired their money through dirty means. That's not what I'm on. I'm on just the principle of whatever it was, they set their families up. Somebody sacrificed even in the thievery. So the point I'm making, I said all that to say that should be our goal, not to get it by evil means, but to get it so that your great grandson can be born into a situation where somebody ain't got to be in the grocery store trying to steal some formula. I ain't got to go rob the Family Dollar to get some diapers. And institutions where you can incorporate your future generations into the family business. And even if they don't want to be in the family business, they still are benefiting from. Look at Paris Hilton. Y'all remember Paris Hilton? She carried that name. She got that last name was her ticket. Probably never ate a ramen noodle in her life. Never had a ramen noodle in her life. She might like them. The hot sauce on it. BGN said, to answer your scenario, I would work that job to put money on the table or exploit my talents so I could live comfortable, especially if it'll make my people be taken. Yeah. And I get it. Some people, man, look, man, if you're not happy, don't do something that don't make you happy. I get that. I get all that. But again, sometimes it's bigger than us. That job you're working on ain't making you happy. I told you was stocking dog food at PetSmart. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying in comparison to you could have signed a max deal in the NBA and been making $250 million over 5 years. And you could buy you a PetSmart franchise. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Strive to secure your immediate family, says Jody McJunkins. You can't save everybody. No, it's not about trying to save everybody, but it's about putting yourself in a position to have the option to decide who you want to save. And I would look at my parents. Like I said, me and the homies been having this conversation all day long. I would look at my parents and be like, man, I sure want to take my mama off that job. I sure want to take my daddy off that job. I don't want my daddy doing this no more, man. I sure want to pay off mama's house. Or I sure want to buy mama a house. I want to get out that apartment, man. She been living in these apartments since I was a little boy. Man, I sure want to help my sister. She always talking about opening up this business, man. I could bing, 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 bing real quick and make that happen. That's what it's about. That's what I'm talking about when I mean making the sacrifices for a few years. Grind now, shine later. Some people rather shine now, but it will jeopardize your shine later. You're not guaranteed to shine later if you're trying to get it all in now while you don't have a foundation. Dollar Bill said legacy. That's what it's all about. All of those rich people we named, their legacies are built on corruption, but it's a legacy nonetheless. The newborn baby don't know nothing about that. We don't have to build our legacies on corruption. Oh, 102 Drought says, if you hustle, you struggle. Appreciate the donation as well. If you hustle, you struggle, because the hustle consists of trial and error. Error. That's the word. You're going to make mistakes in your process. Love y'all too, Mike. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. My spirit good. God is great. We need longevity. We need generational wealth. We need generational wealth. There's always somebody that breaks the cycle in every family. Well, not always, but typically it's that one that comes along and breaks the cycle in every family. Regardless of what it is, regardless of what you're proud of. Well, he was the first one to go to college in our whole family. Some of them the first one to graduate high school. But in other cases, hey man, this dude saved the family. This dude made it to the league. They're giving away so much money, man. They're giving 30, 40, $50 million a year. One season is transformative for your whole bloodline. Not to mention the entire contract, $200 million. I'm just saying. But to bring it all full circle, man, can't make people want it. That's the painful part. Triple X is in the building, man. Yeah, I had the back door tonight because I didn't hit y'all one last week when I was out of town. I couldn't no way. I was incarcerated. But you can't make people want it, man. And that's the most painful thing, to recognize a talent in somebody and you appreciate it more than they do. It's tough, man. Y'all drop y'all location, man. Drop your location. And do me a favor, man. Y'all go subscribe to my podcast channel. I'm not going to never get off of that, so y'all might really get used to me always hitting y'all with that. It's called the Underground Dialogue Podcast. If you don't know about it, go subscribe and go check out the content. New episode drops this coming week. Drop your location so I can shout y'all out, man. Mike Cullen out there in Fairbanks, Alaska. Jimmy in Alabama. Anna Monarchy in Ontario. Enoch Vision in Pasadena, California. Voodoo Scratch in United Kingdom. Finders Keepers just south of Pittsburgh. Zawaji, Big City Station, TX. Big Ock out there in the South Bronx. Underground Dialogue Podcast. That's my podcast channel, Mike. Go subscribe right now and check out the content. Don't subscribe if you're not going to watch. YouTube took like 2,000 and something subscribers from me this week. I was closing in on 60,000 subscribers, and I looked up and I was down to 57,000, and I didn't know what had happened. And I looked up and I saw that YouTube, somehow I lost 2,400 subscribers. And I knew it was something within YouTube. I knew just all of a sudden 2,400 people didn't just decide, we just gonna unsubscribe. But I did a little study, and it said that sometimes if they're fake accounts and stuff like that, YouTube will clean them out. And I don't know if that's what it is, but that seemed kind of logical. So maybe that's what it is. So I'd rather have actual people subscribe to the channel who are going to engage rather than somebody who may just make a page and then you never see them anymore. So I'm more into the engagement. I've seen channels that they got way fewer subscribers than me, but they get more engagement. Now, content has a lot to do with that. Like I said last night, I'm not going to ever be one of those people who makes, just that low vibrating content. I'm just not on that. But it doesn't take a lot of people to generate high activity on a channel if the engagement is there. That's why I appreciate y'all so much, because a lot of y'all I'm so familiar with, because every time I jump on, y'all are right here rocking with your big brother. So I appreciate y'all. Magneticus out there in the Emerald City. Drought out there in Midland, Texas. Jody out there in Oxford, Mississippi. BGN, it was good to see you in Denver last week, man. My homie always come out, man. Mike, just get on YouTube and just go in the box, type in Underground Dialogue Podcast. It'll come right up. It'll come right up. I'm in Texas, Finders Keepers. Well, I entertained the shadow banning prospect, but I was like, everything ain't always a shadow ban. Sometimes there's some other reasons behind it. But I do feel low-key shadow banned in some ways, so I ain't gonna lie. I need a break from the mainstream. Let me give you my email address. I need a break. Let me give you my email address. Hit me up, man. Let me know what you're interested in, and I'll have some physicals, some physical copies for you, when you hit town. We'll make it happen. Beautiful jazz. I'm gonna sing some jazz. Beautiful jazz. Well, hey there. Always smile when beautiful jazz comes into the room. Beautiful jazz. No, bot accounts. Yeah, Magneticus. Yeah. Bot account. They took 2,000 and something subscribers from me. I was right at 60,000. All of a sudden, I was back down to 57. I said, man, it must be a mistake. But like I said, when I read up on it, it just said they got like bot accounts or fake accounts or inactive accounts, and YouTube just goes through and cleans that out, flushes that out. So if that's the case, that's cool. Cause like I said, I don't want I feel like I already got too many unengaging, useless subscribers. I got 50-some thousand subscribers, but I don't get 50-some thousand worth of engagement. So I feel like I got a lot of worthless subscribers, not calling them worthless, but they just don't engage. So I'd rather have the exact amount of people who actually get down, who actually rock out with me when I put my content up, like y'all. I'd rather deal with the people who are actually engaging than just people who I'm a sub and then you don't see them no more. I don't like that. You with me, be with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I sent my email address, so you hit me up on some physicals. Let me know what you're interested in. Yeah, bots, robots. Triple X, my brother. Any great upcoming albums? Yeah, I'm working on some stuff, man. South Park Coalition album dropping this summer. My Canadian collab dropping this summer. And I got a new one that's dropping that I'm starting to work on that'll be out. All this stuff coming in the summertime. So y'all get ready. Get it ready, get it ready, get it ready. Beautiful Jazz. That's my next single. What I think about Beast 1333. That's the homie, man. He dope. I got 2 or 3 songs with Beast. Go check him out on YouTube. But remember, man, as much as it hurts, as painful as it is, man, you can see all the potential in the world in somebody. If they don't want to do it, you'll never get them to do it. You'll never get them to do it. And if you do get them to do it, they're not going to max out. You got to love what you do to be the best at it. You got to love what you do to be the best at it. But you also have to give people a chance to show you what they love to do. It's a thin line. Like I say, I remember when I just said I missed the Joe Jackson days where they would just tell the child. I mean that. But you do kind of, even with Joe Jackson, I'm sure he recognized the gift in his children before he just forced them to do it. You can't try to just put instruments and a microphone in front of your child and you're going to be a singer, but they don't know how to sing. So somewhere along the line, he had to have seen the talent. And he was like, okay, these boys pretty good. Now let me get on them and push it because I discovered it. I can't make my child just start playing the flute and he ain't got no flute skills. You could probably teach him the basics, but that ain't how it always works. The Stone Koala, I still listen to Grand Deception at least once a week, yo. Yeah, man, thank you, man. They be tripping with the views on that too, man. They be on my head, man. Them folks be on me, man. Y'all don't understand. But I embrace that because I know when the devil don't like me, that means I'm doing something right. See, but the devil got a problem with you, man, then you on the right path. If they trying to shut you up, that means you saying something that needs to be heard. See? Big Ock, you like that beautiful jazz? We need a beat. We need a beat. We dedicate that one to beautiful jazz, aka the lemon. A few more questions. You can lead a horse to water. You can even use a forklift to drop that horse in the water, but none of that will make him drink. The only thing that's going to make a horse drink is if that horse is thirsty. If the horse is thirsty, they'll drink. You're right. It just hurts. You wish you could put your mind into their mind. You wish you could put your vision into their head so they could see it. We talked about entitlement. Like with young people, see, sometimes if you got a young person who never had to really want for nothing, they don't always have that natural fire and that motivation in them to want to do something for themselves because they feel, I ain't got to. I never had to. Mama got me. I'm good. I can live with my mama forever. Mama ain't gonna never put me out. Dad ain't gonna never put me out. So you don't have that drive to, and you satisfied with the base level. You satisfied with average. You should never want to be average in nothing you do. Everything you do, you should push to try to be the best at it. You should push to make nobody be better than you. Does that mean you be the best at it? It could or it could not. But you got to push to get as close as you can. What you want to be average for? It's enough people that are average. You can get average anywhere. If you had a bunch of people that know how to cook, or they say they know how to cook, a bunch of people that cook, and you sampling, right? You at some convention where they got a bunch of food and you sampling different stuff. No, this pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Then you get to this. Yeah, man, who made this? Wow, this right here. See, they above average. And other stuff was good. It was good. But this right, man, who made this? That's the difference. You listen to music. We're getting ready. We're going out of town, right? So we all in the car together, right? I don't listen to the radio, but for the sake of this analogy, let's say we turn on the radio and we ride down the street, y'all, and 10 songs come on, and we just ride. Yeah, that's all right. But then the next song come on, and we like, man, who is that? It's above average. They're different. You always want to be different. You don't want to be in the pack. You want to stand out from the pack. It's easy to be average, but standing out from the pack is hard. It requires work. It requires work ethic. It requires sacrificing your time when you wanted to go hang out, but you knew you had to put the work in. So it's better to get that work in. You can have fun later. It's easy to be average. I never wanted to be average, man. It's not in my DNA to be basic in nothing that I do. Everything I do, I want to be really good at it. I want to be, because we live in a world of constant comparison. Everybody has to, it's just something in our mind, in our makeup as people, that feel the need to compare. Well, man, I like this rapper. Yeah, this rapper's good. He ain't better than this one. We can't just say, well, yeah, he good, and just leave it. Yeah, yeah, he is good. Somebody gonna always say, is he better than? Oh man, I like, man, boy, that boy can hoop. That boy, I love the way he hoop. He ain't better than Jordan. We just compare. We compare in our personal life. You're gonna always be able to pick out. If you in your lifetime, man, you worked on, you had 10 jobs in your life. One of those jobs is gonna be your favorite job. Man, I sure miss working at such. Man, I used to love, that was the best job I ever had. You comparing it to the rest of them. We compare everything. To show you the food analogy, everybody argue about who make the best homemade macaroni and cheese. And you ain't got to be done tasted it. Man, boy, man, my mama macaroni and cheese, boy, off the chain. I bet hers ain't better than my grandmama's. You ain't tasted my mama's. How you know? We just compare. That's what we do. You compare men and women. Girl, that was the best man I ever had. Yeah, dog, man, that's the best woman I ever been with. We compare everything, bro. Just what we do. Is it good? Is it right or wrong? I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Is it good to compare? Y'all tell me. Is comparing good? But since that's what we do, we just naturally have this urge to compare, whether it's good or not. My thought process is, okay, well, I'm coming in feeling like I'm gonna be compared to somebody. So I need to try to do something that's gonna separate me from everybody else. When I get on the stage, it may have been 5 people that went on before me, 8 people that went on before me. I got to be, or I could have went on early. If I went last or close to last, I got to be like, okay, you know what? I got to stand out among everybody else who already been up here. If I go on early, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I don't know who coming after me, but I got to leave my mark now to make sure whoever come after me, I can't control what they do, but I can control what I do, because people gonna compare. You're gonna drive home, man, that was a cool show, man. Yeah. I like that third dude that got up there. Yeah, he was all right, but the last guy, man, he was dope. They're gonna compare. I just want my name to be in the conversation. So you come in with that mind to be the best. Remember Run DMC? Some of y'all are a little young. Y'all remember the movie Crush Groove? Who ever seen the movie Crush Groove before? We can see how many old schoolers we got up in this chat. Who ever saw the movie Crush Groove? That'll be coming soon, Lemon. Raise your hand if you ever seen the movie Crush Groove. I'll wait. In the movie Crush Groove, there was a scene in that movie. Run DMC came on the stage, and Run said, he got on the mic, he said, We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my mother house. And everybody just went crazy. He was separating himself. He was like, okay, yeah, them dudes was good. You listen to the record Ron's house, he said it again on that. People gonna compare, man. Be your best. Be the best you can be. Every single time, be the best you can be. I don't care what you do. Make sure your name gets mentioned when they start talking about the best that ever did it. All you can control is being your best. Not worried about. As a rapper, I can't police nobody else's pen. I can't just knock on another rapper's door and slap his pen out of his hand while he writing. I can't control what he creates. But I can control how I get down. I couldn't control when they broke my finger the other day. But it ain't on my right hand. See? Separate yourself. Stop being mediocre. I can't really do it. I can't do it. Just don't want to do it. You was born to be great. Got to be great. Not regular. Yeah. Hit the like button if you haven't already, man. I've seen a few new people done slipped in on the late night hour. Click that thumbs up, man, if you haven't done it already. Everybody got a favorite something. What's your favorite color? Who's your favorite singer? Who's your favorite rapper? Who's your favorite basketball player? What's your favorite car? Even if you ain't got the car, you can say, well, my favorite car is whatever it is. Quit being regular. My finger is no longer regular. I think my finger might be deformed for life. That's all right. It's going to be all right. We're going to make it. See? Kalumanali. Appreciate you coming through, man. Say your first live. Much love. Glad you're here. Rick Wick, first live. Glad you're here. Appreciate that. Hit that like button. And while y'all coming through, be sure to also go subscribe to my podcast channel. Y'all didn't even know I had one. I'm just letting y'all know, all the new people, as well as some of the regulars that might not have known or might not have subscribed yet. You'll waste your time trying to force somebody to be something they don't want to be. We try to force people to be with us when they don't want to be with us. Try to force a job to take us. Well, hey man, they want to hire you, man. Nothing you can do. Man, Animanarchy, God, hey, what happened? How'd you do that? I don't even want to read that. Yo, Columinali, where you from? You and Rick Wick, where y'all from, man? Jet Rock Set, where y'all from? Jet seen Crush Groove. The Lemon fell asleep on that movie. Where you from? MKE. What is MKE, man? I'm sorry. I'm that those initials are not clicking with me, man. Make me know. Give me the full spell out. Milwaukee. Okay, all right. Good looking out. Thank you, Enoch. Crush grooving, body moving. Look, people laugh at video games, right? But there were people who got really good at video games and they end up making money playing these games. Gaming is big now. Do people not make money off gaming now? Same video games, like I ain't gonna say the same game, but the same way we used to like to play video games when we was coming up, it's an industry now. So you never know what. See, we live in a different day. Look at YouTube. Look at social media. People make money being social media influencers and all that. Who would ever thought? See, you gotta understand this here. That's why I like to say you can't force people to want something they don't want because you don't never know what their passion might be. So a lot of times as older people, we don't understand what the child is trying to do, and he in his room all the time or she in her room all the time trying to master the art of being a content creator, and your child is in middle school or high school and got millions of views on TikTok, millions of followers. I ain't on TikTok. They got followers, subscribers. I don't know what they got, but they got millions of followers on TikTok, hundreds of thousands to millions on YouTube, generating revenue on YouTube, making more money than the parents. Dude making more money than his mom and daddy on YouTube because he found a lane or she found a lane. Come on, man. Just don't know. So now they turn into young entrepreneurs. They're making this into a profession. Gaming is on pay-per-view. Wow. So people paying pay-per-view to watch people play video games. That's strong. See, you never know, man. Never know, man. Gaming code, my son said, is a money maker. Wow. That's strong, man. Man. So when you do find out what the people around you like to do, be supportive of them. Pour all that energy into them. Might not be what you wanted them to do, but they love it and they good at it. And hopefully it's something that can make money. It'd be sad they get interested in something that just don't generate no revenue. It's like, oh man. Now hold on a second. My snacks was calling me, man. My bad. My snacks were calling me. This around time of night when my sweet tooth kicks in. Wow. Yo, Hootie, what's going on? I'm shouting out names. And I don't see a lot. Hey, do y'all know who Ryan is? The little boy? The little boy who plays with toys on YouTube is making like $10-20 million a year. He was 7 years old at the time. He's older now. He just get on YouTube and play with toys. And the little children would just watch him play with toys. He would get like millions of views. You just never know. Hey, I had to have it, man. I didn't have much to snack on tonight, but I had to have it. Now he's rich. Yeah, he's beyond rich. Family set up for life. They let him find what he was good at. They saw it and were like, can't beat that, man. Yeah, he got merch and everything, man. Because you got to max it out. See, that's what I was saying. Like when you sacrifice for your family and all that, just go hard for a little while, man. Even if you don't like it, go hard for a little while just to put the family in a good position, man. Then you can get out. I don't like to use the word selfish, but it's like, man, come on, man, you're being selfish, man. You got an opportunity that nobody in the family has. Let's capitalize on it. I was eating some fig Newtons, y'all. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the best I could do. Danish butter cookies. Danish butter cookies. I seen the butter cookies. Is that the little round cookie with the hole in it? They got look like a flower, but it's got a little hole in it. When you see me eating stuff like fig Newtons and all that, I like fig Newtons, but I try not to eat them a lot. That means I couldn't get the snacks I really wanted. I couldn't get no bean pie. Or they come in a can. Or they like the little, they look like vanilla little cookies. Shortbreads. Dutch cookies. Yeah, Dutch, Danish, tomato. Okay, yeah. I wish I had a bean pie. Bean pie. I wish I had a bean pie. Bean pie. Once you go bean pie, you never go back. I wish I had a bean pie. Bean pie. Hey, man, one love to y'all, man. Salute. Let me let y'all go. Peace.